What is going on, everybody? It's the Firestorm. We're back again with Elestrals, Divine Champions, Firestorm, day number 9. Viscerous and the fires and the earth finally get their time in the sun.
It's finally time for us to reveal some brand new, amazing Earth Elestrals, some champions of Demeter for you guys to get excited for. So let's
I do get kind of annoyed he says new because 90% of these are not new. They're just reprints of old cards. So can we stop calling them new?
dive in. If you haven't pre-ordered Firestorm yet, what are you doing? We've got
I don't know. It's not really like, why would I want to pre-order Firestorm when you haven't impressed me really at all with this set? Set 4 wasn't very impressive, and Set 5 is not much more impressive right now at all.
exclusive promo for you guys at shopelestrals.com. Our Stellar Exaltair, Champion of Hermes, that comes with every 50 you spend. Massive opportunities there. And of course, we got our 2-player starter decks, our booster boxes, and our amazing accessories like our new plushies. A lot of amazing stuff. So make
I mean, the only thing impressive about this set is the fact that Zeus and Poseidon, Hestia, the Zeus and Poseidon get reprints. The playmats always look cool. The new plushies look top quality, obviously, but when it comes down to it, all you've given us is mostly just reprinted cards with different effects. That's it. There's not enough going on here that makes me go, I need to go out and get Firestorm because of X, Y, and Z. You haven't done that.
Make sure you guys get your pre-orders in. We're going to be talking about some new Earth Elestrals today and some things that are going to change the Earth Pantheon in a really cool way and pair incredibly well with Demeter and beyond. So let's talk about our first new Earth Elestral, Pandasin, Champion of Demeter. I tell you what, I love this.
You can return up to 2 Earth from your underworld to your spirit deck if your Demeter is enchanted.
Little cutie, another beauty by the Elite Four. Pandasin, Champion of Demeter, comes to the field with.
I mean, the art itself is fine and all, but it's like instead of giving new, I know we're probably not going to see many new Elestrals going forward. Mostly Nexuses of previous Elestrals, but the fact that all of Firestorm in every single one over the next 4 sets is going to be like 90% just, hey, these Elestrals are just reprints of previous cards, but with the title on them and a new effect. And maybe new attack and defense, but it's still a Pandasin. Come on. Where's all the new Elestrals? There's going to be very few, and I just think that's ridiculous.
With 2 attack and 4 defense, and a super cool effect. You can return up to 2 Earth Spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck if your Demeter is enchanted. A very simple effect that states that if you play this Pandasin and you've got a Demeter on the field, you get to heal 2 every turn. Pretty sweet stuff, nice and simple, and an opportunity for you to recur and regenerate those Earth Spirits and pair incredibly well with the stat buffing powers of the Goddess of the Harvest, Demeter herself, making this Pandasin a potential powerhouse offensively.
Not really.
But most of the time, you're going to utilize it to get some spirits back and do some really cool things. This next Champion of Demeter, though, is absolutely nuts, and it's going to make Earth decks a lot stronger. Back in Frostfall, we introduced the first of our Lith Elestrals, and we've got a new champion.
We're going to do Verdolith Champion. This Verdolith can be normal casters with 2 of your Demeter, with 2 Earth if your Demeter is enchanted. Much better effect way to get it on the field compared to the other one. When you target this Verdolith with Demeter effect, you can special cast a 1 Spirit Earth Elestral from your hand. This effect can be activated only once each turn, which yeah, because when you obviously once per turn. Obviously, if you double Demeter, which I don't think anybody's not too many people are gonna double Demeter to buff it up. It is it's a 2/6, so it's like, yeah, I get why you'd probably want to double Demeter to be able to buff it up to an 8 whatever. But yeah, just getting on the field is a lot better than a lot easier to get on the field than normal Verdolith, I will say.
Champion Verdolith coming to the Coliseum right now. Verdolith, Champion of Demeter. This one hits the field with 2 attack and 6 defense, so a very defensive body, but it does state that it can be normal cast with 2 Earth if your Demeter is enchanted. So if you compare this with a Demeter, you just get to cast out an incredibly powerful 6 defense Elestral. When you target this Vertilith with Demeter's effect, so you buff its attack and defense by 3, you can special cast a 1 Spirit Earth Elestral from your hand. This effect can only be activated once each turn. That little clause is there in case you're having 2 Demeters in the field, but ultimately you have the flexibility of every single turn, you can buff your Vertilith.
Rich, how many times are you going to see somebody have a double Demeter on the field? Obviously, if you want to get over a big boy and you want to be able to put this at an 8, 12, then maybe, but most of the time you're just going to have 1 Demeter on the field.
And you can special cast out another Earth Elestral, so you can cast out that Pandasit we just mentioned, or you can cast out one of the more powerhouses within the Earth element, like your Equalinx or your Viscerus or otherwise, to swarm the field and put on immense amounts of pressure. And again, this Vertilith can become your normal cast and set up an incredibly powerful defensive wall to align with Demeter and do some really cool things. So I think this card is awesome, and I can't wait to see what you guys cook up with the brand new Earth cards coming in Firestorm. Now up next, we've got a very unique card coming to Firestorm, and that is a brand new Viscerus, but it is not a titled Viscerus. And I want to explain how this is going to
work. It's +1 for each Viscerus on the field, while there are another Viscerus on the field. This Viscerus is unaffected by opponent's counter runes. Oh boy.
We talked about it in a previous video, that if an Elestral card comes out and it does not have a title and it shares the same name,
Viscerus is limited right now too.
As a previous card, they're going to be competing for the same slots. However, if you guys recall, Viscerus from base set, its original effect, is limited to 2 copies per deck. What this new Viscerus is going to do is this one is not going to be limited. So you're going to be fighting for 3 total slots for Viscerus of base set and Firestorm Viscerus, but you can only use 2 of those slots on the base set one. So now you can actually get a 3rd Viscerus back by utilizing.
Okay, that's dumb. What's the point of what's the absolute point of limiting Viscerus if you're just gonna be like, oh wait, we'll get the Firestorm and we'll give you a new Viscerus that's not gonna be limited? That's dumb. That's absolutely stupid.
In the Firestorm one, or you can
mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake this game keeps making. How stupid is this?
You can use 3 Firestorm Viscerus.
And he's so happy about this. He has this like glee about this. This is stupid. What's the point of limiting Viscerus if you're just going to go, well, here's a new Viscerus and you can do it as many times as up to 3.
Or you can use 1 base set Viscerus,
God,
2
how
Firestorm
stupid.
Viscerus, etc. So we're going to uphold the restriction on the original Viscerus at 2, but you can add a 3rd copy if you're using the Firestorm one. Hopefully that's super clear. Let's talk about this brand new Viscerus and its effect, and how it's going to make Viscerus even stronger than it ever was before, but in a way that will hopefully be a little bit more balanced.
Clearly not, because if you use base set Viscerus to get this one out, and then another one out, those 2 Visceruses can't be affected by counter ruins. You keep making the same mistakes. You just keep making mistakes, and this is not balancing Viscerus at all. Because it still gets the +1 for each Viscerus on the field. Are you stupid? Or are you dumb?
This Viscerus comes to the field with 4 attacks,
this doesn't balance
and 1
at all.
defense, 1 cost Earth, and its effect is pretty simple. This Viscerus gets +1 attack for each Viscerus on the field, so it immediately becomes a 5, just like the original Viscerus did. However, while there is another Viscerus on your field, this Viscerus is unaffected by opponent's counter runes.
Now tell me how the heck this is supposed to balance Viscerus. Are you stupid or are you dumb?
What that means is your previous Viscerus from, of course, the base set metagame can swarm out and not only grab the base set Viscerus, but they can grab this new one, this new Firestorm Viscerus, and give itself counter protection, and that could be pretty useful for you. So, a lot of cool stuff here,
Again, I'll say it a 3rd time. Are you stupid or are you dumb?
cool ideas to explore. Adding Viscerus again back in so people can run 3 without it being 3 copies of base set is something that I'm very excited to explore, and we'll make sure we get our banned and restricted list updated.
If this doesn't get restricted by the end of the month, then what do we do? By the time this comes out, what are we doing?
To make this super clear for you guys, so hopefully it's not too confusing, but a kind of a fun next step for us in the chapter of Elestrals with a brand new Viscerus. My man PK Sparks revealed this one on his channel, and this is a super fun card coming to Firestorm, and that is none other than Panzer getting a brand new print.
Also not titled.
And much like the Viscerus, this Panzer does not have a title, so
you can. This is the stupidest thing too. It's like, why are we reprinting cards and not putting titles on them and giving them a new effect? What's the point? You're just gonna add way too much confusion to this game. Are you stupid or are you dumb? every single one of these reveals, it's just getting more and more that Dan is losing his mind on what he wants to make, how to make this game work. You're going to confuse inexperienced players with, oh, this Panzer, like, why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we giving new, like, why are we not giving us new Elestrals or Nexuses of other Elestrals to expand the card pool? Instead, we're going to go with a second Panzer that has no title, that has a different effect, so you can only run 3 Panzer. It's just so stupid how this is going.
So again, you'll be utilizing Frostfall Panzer, and this Panzer will be competing for 3 deck slots total. This one hits the field with 3 attack and 4 defense, and a super cool effect. When you cast this Panzer, you can enchant a number of Earth Spirits to it, up to the number of Elestrals on an opponent's field. So if your opponent has 2 Elestrals on the field and you cast Panzer, you can enchant up to 2 more spirits to it. So there's some really cool implications here with how this could work with cards like Foley Forest, but also setting up for potential Ascension plays down the road. You can get a lot of spirits on Panzer very quickly. If your opponent has 1 or 2 or even 3 Elestrals on the field, there's a lot of opportunities here. And as more cards get introduced into the game that allow players to swarm their boards and go a little bit wider, cards like Panzer have an opportunity to get loaded up on spirits. And then you have your payoff. When the Panzer is destroyed in battle, you can draw a card for each enchanting spirit on it. So if you were able to load up a bunch of spirits on it, those can turn into incredible draw power. Very, very cool stuff. Again, I think this card really shines when paired with Foley Forest, getting the ability to buff its stats, both its attack and defense stat. And I think the ability to draw and regenerate resources is something that is very, very welcomed here in the Earth deck, and something that Panzer will excel at.
This game.
Up next, we've got a brand new Reverse Stellar for you guys to chase after. This one is an absolute beauty, and you'll be able to find it in your booster packs across the booster boxes, and of course, in our blister packs and beyond, which, by the way, if you haven't picked up our amazing blister packs, that by Pyro and Lycra is absolutely nuts. But we've got the brand new Stellar Pandasin, Reverse Stellar, Champion of Demeter. I showcased this card earlier in this video, and this one's just gorgeous, man. This is one of my favorite arts in the set, I think. Diego coming through.
You have said that in like every one of these videos, that one of these cards is your favorite art in the set. Make up your mind, dude.
Big time. With the Demeter in the background, this thing's looking cute. Its little face mask is getting blown off. This one is one for the collection, no doubt about it. These Reverse Stellars are so amazing in Firestorm. Gonna be a true treat for you guys to pull. One of the most important things with Elestrals is supporting and uplifting our local game stores. So I'm gonna be telling you guys about an exclusive LGS promo that you can get by pre-ordering or ordering from a local game store, and that is the brand new Ampharix Champion.
You already told us that one.
That says you can to your hand.
You did this
during
already.
The road and of course in the field. This is an incredible job. So
that it?
Elestrals. If you're someone who lives in a different country like Canada, Universal.
You already did this already. Okay, so I'm already starting to see that Firestorm is going to lead to a lot of confusion for most players, with adding in new cards that are champions, adding in reprints of previous cards that don't have a title, so they have a new effect. So you're adding so much confusion to this game to a lot of players. With already all the stuff with like somebody wants to run all the lunar phases in set 4 in a deck. That deck is confusing to like you can confuse your opponent very quickly with all the different combos you can do at the same time. Why are you making this game more complicated? I thought you wanted to be player friendly. This entire Firestorm thing is a freaking joke and is going to make the game much more unplayable. Plain and simple. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, because I am like, the Firestorm is definitely just it's sending Elestrals to a downward spiral for me. I just don't see how you're going to be able to make this even fun, worth playing, because what's the point of limiting Viscerus? You go, oh yeah, we have a new Viscerus, no title to it, and this one's not limited, but still can make it so that Viscerus is, and it's not going to balance at all. It's not going to balance the game at all. Like, at all. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a good one.